Hey there, Chubs fans. Welcome to Chubs Gone Wild, episode 393, recorded on March 10th, 2021. See, I updated everything this time like I was supposed to.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's currently 87 degrees and sunny outside. I know 87 isn't as bad as like the 93 or 4 or 5 or whatever it was yesterday, but son of a bitch, I am hot.
Well, it's 93 later today, so don't get it's all week.
Ugh,
And Wednesday is the hottest.
I've got to get the foil up on my window. I know it always is like, you put foil on your window, you trashy, but I don't give a shit. I want to see if it will help keep this room cooler.
It probably won't make the room cooler, but the just the fact that the room will be darker will subconsciously make you feel cooler.
Hey, if my subconscious will do a damn thing, making me cooler is good. It's better than making me stressy. Anyway, moving on. At least the wind stopped.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, it hasn't?
No, it's worse than it was yesterday.
What? When I went outside for 3 minutes, it wasn't doing anything?
Well, my ring on my door goes off like every 5 minutes that there's a gust. And my what happened was, remember the big storm we had where I was blacked out for a couple days?
Yes.
Hey, well, my lamp out in front, I've got a lamp on the driveway. It's just your traditional one light lamp, but it's probably a 5-foot post, 6-foot post, and the lid got blown off in that particular one.
Oh wow. Wow. Okay.
And so the lamp gets blown off, and so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll straighten it out. It actually, because you screwed it down, the lid screwed down, right?
Wow.
It blew off the things that hold the lid down. The screws are still in the lid.
Jeez.
It just ripped it right off of the actual casing, and yeah.
That's insane. Well, I wonder if we'll have a really windy summer.
Well, it's fire season. Why? Of course we are.
Yeah. Yeah. That was so bad last year too. I mean, every year it seems to get worse, but I'm hoping that we don't have it as bad this year. All right. Well,
we've already had fires.
Yeah, but have they been big?
Well, we haven't had as big of one, right. But they say that right now in the mountains, it's as dry the 1st of May as it should be the 1st of July.
Yeah, well, yeah, that sucks. Oh, that reminds me. What the hell was the show? It was a show about some gay kids, gay college club or whatever that I watched a while ago. I can't remember the name of it. But it was on HBO Max. During their filming, it was when the big fires in LA were going on, and they actually included them like at their school or wherever they were shooting, like watching some of the fires and just put in some dialogue about it, and you could see the fires just like about half a mile away. It was just a reminder about how fucking insane it is. Anyway, it is 174 days till Halloween. Oh, that sounds so delightful.
Well, you know why? Not only is it your birthday, but it's also the end of summer.
I know, and that's why I'm so... I have to go through a summer again.
What? Well, the difference is our summers go May through October, actually April through October, where everywhere else, well, except for the South, but like up north, they're still getting snow
and rain. The fuckers. Yeah. I mean, and the snow, but I'd take the rain.
And then their summer ends August.
Bitches.
I know.
Anyway, but we love them anyway. We totally do. But anyway, okay, so 174 till Halloween, 229 until Christmas, and 55 days till Independence Day, when we celebrate kicking the Brits' ass. This is
Okay.
I like British asses. Mm, I'm just
Okay.
saying. All right. All right. Well, what do we got coming up today? What we celebrate? Oh, by the way, if you're interested in these holidays and stuff, and I actually have had some people ask me about where we get the info. It is checkaday.com, and they actually have a new ebook published with lots of like good holiday, like they actually tell you what the fuck the holiday means. Because when I say it's clean up your room day, well, where the fuck did that come from? Well, if you buy the book, they'll tell you. So anyway, today is clean up your room day.
Good luck on that.
It's not bad. But there's somebody that hates this day so badly. He lives across the hall from me. Anyway, today is also Jerusalem Day, National Lipid Day, Shrimp, Small Businesses, Women's Checkup, Trust Your Intuition, and also World Lupus Day. When years ago, before they really knew what lupus and stuff was, they had diagnosed my mother with lupus, and so they were going on like a course of treatment for lupus, and then come to find out 4 years after all that, she didn't have it, that they had misdiagnosed her. It was really weird. Lupus is a fucked up disease.
Mhm.
It really is. So anyway, let's move on to something affirming. I read books that enrich my soul and give me food for thought. There is always more to learn. See, I try to read books and I get like 3 or 4 pages in and I'm like, this is really good. And then I just don't go back to them. I love reading. Reading is fundamental, but I don't do it. I read all day.
I don't. I mean, I don't read books.
Well, see, and that's the thing, is I don't anymore either. And except I'll skim them, or I'll read the first 4 pages or so, and then I'll forget to go back because I'm at my computer reading, doing new stuff and writing and all that stuff so much that reading is not a relaxation for me anymore like it was when I was younger. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hey, Patreon. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, books, videos, and more. And we want to thank our fucking awesome patrons. I'm cussing a lot today. Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ, Star Sage, Timothy, Eric, Juan Carlos, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, and Moose P. Please become a patron of the show over at patreon.com/MattBurlingame. And we want to give them extra wonderful hugs and thanks because today we paid another year of hosting. And it was because of our patrons that we were able to do that. So, all right. Well, I heard a rumor that there's some birthdays coming up. Oh, so what are they? Starting out today, we wish author Alice Shaw a happy birthday. And also that Patrick Walsh, if you are friends with him on Facebook, for his birthday, he is raising money for a fundraiser that I am totally in support of. It's called Backpacks for the Street. So they buy, or some people make, but they buy backpacks and they put essentials for like homeless people in them, and they hand them out to homeless people. And he has raised $600 of the $1,000, and I donated. And I hope that if anybody feels the has the money and feels the goddess in them, and just go give them $5. It's a good organization. All right. Also, we've got birthdays coming up for Steve. That's Steve in Scotland. Naughty boy. He's actually older than me by like 6 months. Cleaver, AJ, Zach Jones. That's the significant other to Daniel Brewer, head of the Pride 48 organization. We love him. Also, Jude and John and another John and another John and David, Eric, Aaron, and Mitch.
Now, which Eric?
Which Eric? Oh my God, that would be Mean Keen.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the Mean Keen Eric.
I know another Eric whose birthday is today.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Well, he used to be here in town, but he's in Chicago now.
Oh, that Eric. Yes. Well, happy birthday to that Eric. He ain't on my friends list anymore. So,
Whose fault is that? Probably yours.
I have no idea. Sometimes people come into our lives for a season. And sometimes Facebook goes burp and then the season's over. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Where are we here? We got our birthdays done. Hey, we got a couple things in the feed bag. Yay! Right? So,
Okay.
and both of them are from Sean. Not your Sean, but our awesome Sean. I was trying to remember. He has a podcast, but I'm so bad because I cannot remember the name of it right now. So, Sean, I'm very sorry. Anyway, he actually has been watching our videos, and he says, I'm in California, and I had a nice meatball sandwich earlier today. That being stated, good meatball subs are more difficult to find here than in other parts of the country. And we were talking about that on one of the last shows, and I agree. I totally agree. And also he says, thanks for the hugs, Tom. Allergies are killing us over here. Yes. Yes.
Oh, I wanted to mention, remember I was talking to you a couple weeks ago about popcorn with virtually hull-less popcorn?
Yes.
Well, I finally got it.
Oh.
And we had the first bag a couple nights ago, and it was the extreme butter, and the butter was right on mark. It didn't taste artificial. It tasted like movie theater popcorn butter kind of.
Oh, I like that.
It was salted perfectly, and at the bottom of the thing there were 6 kernels that weren't popped.
No.
I know. And basically there were, I mean, what happens is the hulls are so thin that when it pops, they kind of shatter. So you're still getting a little hully around there, but you don't get the full ones that sit on the back of your tongue and make you almost pick at it until you vomit. Yeah. That's what I don't like. So it was really good. I was surprised how good it was.
That's awesome.
Oh, my ring just went off again. I must be some motion at my front door.
Hi, my name's Wendy. Can I come in and teach you about blowing the anyway?
Yeah.
So would you recommend it?
I would actually, because most of the Orville Redenbacher and stuff, I'm still putting butter on it. Not buttery enough. It's not salty enough. And, there's always, 40 kernels at the bottom that never popped.
Right. Hey, have you ever tried the butter spray?
No, because I don't know what that is, because butter doesn't spray.
Right, exactly. It's like a butter flavored spray for your popcorn. I haven't tried. Actually, I don't remember if I've ever tried it before.
Are you sure you're not thinking of Pam and you're just putting?
No, there actually was. I don't know if it's still on the market, but there was actually, it's like a little thing, little bottle, and you spray your popcorn with this butter spray after it's popped. Butter flavored spray.
So it's reduced calorie thing.
Probably. I don't know. Maybe it's for people like me that are lactose intolerant. Okay, so I'll talk about the pool later, but so yesterday I was at a pool party. Well, it wasn't a party. It was just like, let's all see how much our balls can shrivel in this cold pool. So I'm there with 4 people, and each one of us we're trying to bring snacks for everybody. And it's kind of impossible because we have one that's a vegan. Then we have another one that can't have any soy or red dye. And then we have another one that has oh gosh, I don't even remember. It's something that some sweetener or something that they put in everything. Like I don't know anyway, so he's super sensitive to that. Can't have anything like that. And I'm lactose intolerant. So between the four of us, it was kind of a shit show with snacks, but we made it work.
Now, I've had this situation before. You want to know how to solve it?
Make
Everyone
everybody
bring their own
thing.
snacks. Right.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
Just
like.
bring your own snacks. And
Yeah.
if you can munch on that or you can munch on that, then it's fine. If
Right.
you can't, then that's okay too. You at least have what you brought.
Yeah, that's the great plan, and that's probably what we're going to be doing in the future, because
Yeah.
none of us could kind of cross over with things.
What's happened? You know, when I was a kid, you ate what you put down.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Oh, look,
Like,
it's a birthday party. There's going to be cake, hot dogs, hamburgers, ice cream, watermelon. Boom. You don't like it, don't eat it.
yep. That's when I was a kid. It was the same way. We had very little money, so it was like whatever's on that table, you're going to eat it or you're going to starve. That's it.
And
So,
what's a little farting and diarrhea? Come on.
yeah. Well, let me tell you, girl, since I found out the lactose intolerance thing, when I am on my, I take my pills and I cut back on any dairy, I can't tell you the change like that. I actually feel. I feel better. Everything is better, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'm lactose intolerant as well,
Yeah.
but my body just kind of doesn't even crave milk or cheese,
Right. Yeah. And I'm
stuff
not
like
at
that.
point.
So I kind of, if I want it, I eat it, and then Sean suffers the consequences. But there's a study that says that couples who sniff each other's farts last longer.
Actually, yes, and I'm sorry, listeners, but that is a real study. Not only that, but actually, there is something apparently that they did a study that said that if you inhale gas from another person, there's actually something in it that could actually reduce cancer risk.
Oh, well, then I'm
I know, right?
I'm going to start eating more ice cream.
And then, just pull the blanket over his head and say, honey, I know I want to protect you. So,
oh, well, you don't have to hold the covers over him.
He just naturally goes under for it.
No, they're vicious. They're vicious. My farts are vicious.
Oh, that's always fun. All right. Hey, so Chub hugs. I have a few. You have a few?
I have one.
Okay. Well, I will start out and say that I want to send love to Mark and Ed and healing thoughts to their pup Hermione, who has been in the vet for several days, and she hopefully is getting better. So sending them lots of healing. And then Mr. Michael Sage, just for listening. I had a moment yesterday and he talked me down. And then also to Scott the Satyr.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he is home after having a stroke.
A light stroke.
Light stroke, but I thought there was a little
picture that he posted frightened me.
Yeah, well, I think there was a little point in time where he couldn't actually talk.
Well, because he says, oh, okay, I had a little bit of an incident, but everything's fine. It's like, no, you went in there with ridiculously high blood pressure. You found out you're diabetic and you had a stroke.
Right. Yeah.
Don't treat this as it's nothing. And that's and the little bit of light was out of his eyes in that picture he took with his cat.
Yeah.
And that frightened me. So I definitely send hugs out to Scott as well. Because we may be arch enemies, but that doesn't mean we don't love you.
Right. Yeah. It was really scary. And it's also one of those times when you're reminded how much you really care about someone, and that because it really threw me for a loop. And I blame the lack of theater.
And I agree with what you're saying there, because that is his.
Yeah.
That's kind of like his addiction.
Right. And he's doing like at least four shows a year for how many, decades now. And he just, a year off, it just got to him.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Well, what you got?
Well, mine goes out to one of my girls.
Oh,
She died.
oh. Now,
So,
was it just?
well, they're all, it's weird because they were all four were healthy and following the sun every day. I was watering them enough. And then yesterday I go out there and it's like the top of it was still green and vibrant, and the stem was just dried up. Like it
Wow.
just, and I don't know what happened to it or what went wrong. I'm thinking it had to have been that somewhere in the taproot something went wrong.
Yeah.
Because they're already in soil, so I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm gonna plant a new one and see, or a new seed, and see if that works. And when I do, I'll be able to investigate further on what happened to the last one. But it was very sad.
Are you able to salvage anything from her?
Oh no, it was this tall.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that's too bad. Are you gonna like try to replace her, or just?
I just said I'm going to put another seed in there, and
okay, gotcha. I thought that's what, three things going on at once. It's okay. All right. Fat marker. Nope, we don't want that.
No.
There. We're not ready. We're not there yet. All right. Hey, current topics. The first one starting out with Biden bans discrimination against LGBTQ people in healthcare. The announcement reverses a Trump-era policy that allowed providers to deny care to LGBTQ people.
Now we get a bark and a ding. Wow,
apparently, yeah.
So let me ask you this. Now, does that counter the Arkansas bullshit?
I believe it is supposed to, because when it is a what is it? It's not a state issue, it's a federal issue. And if it's a federal law and states, I mean, I don't know if you can force them to comply, but it's a federal law they'll be breaking. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But it's so stupid. It's just they're petty, trying to knock back everything they can.
Well, it's ugly. It's ugly because they're going after a certain group of people, and I thought, I thought we were kind of getting to the point of where we were getting past that, but with the police shootings and the way trans people are being treated, and the fact that when Trump was in office, he tried to roll back gay rights and women's rights, and it's obviously that GOP, and you can almost say it's the GOP now, because with the exception of a few people like Liz Cheney, of all people,
I know, right?
Are the only ones that are saying that Trump is an idiot. What are you doing? He should be arrested, not canonized. Right. So the GOP is all backed up on Trump. And so this is what I hear. I hear, we hate gays, we hate women, we hate Black people, we hate Asian people, we hate Mexican people. The only people we love are rich white people, and we like poor people, poor white people, to think we care about them, but we really don't.
Yeah. And
but they're too poor and stupid to realize that. That's how they think. I'm not saying that's me. I'm saying that's how they think.
It's true. It is very true. All right. Next up, we have German Catholic churches are defying the Vatican and blessing same-sex unions. 4 churches are giving divine favor to gay couples because love wins. Over 100 more are planning to join in the coming weeks. I still don't understand the relevance of the Catholic Church.
What, they hate gay people, they hate women, they
They
hate
love they love young people though. Yes, they do. You know, and I am one of the first people that was like, can we stop with the stereotyping with that thing, with that, and yet more and more of it keeps coming out and keeps coming out, and it's just weird and creepy. But you know, they're like, you give us all your donations so that we can go take care of poor people, and yet you look at the Vatican and they got more fucking money than they can spend in 20 years.
well, it's like, okay, it's kind
And
of
they
like,
don't get pay taxes.
it's kind of like with what's going on right now with Trump. He is still saying that he's running for office, and people are still giving him money to run for office, but he's not going to run for office.
Mhm.
He's going to spend the next 4 years making money off of dumb people
Mhm.
who he's convinced that he's a good guy and that he's the right guy. But then, you know, because he made $200-300 million sitting around going, oh, they took they stole the election from me. Here's money. Here, we'll give you money.
Yeah.
We'll give you money.
Did you see the clip of him at that wedding where he
Yes,
was
that
doing
was
the whole thing?
pathetic.
It was so, I felt embarrassed for him.
Well, it's on the Daily Show. They go, oh, and by the way, that if you do have your wedding at Mar-a-Lago,
Huh.
there's a price where Trump comes and speaks at your wedding, and then there's a much higher price to keep him from speaking at your wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, he just wants someplace to go and talk right now.
Yeah. Because nobody's listening to him. He's got a blog now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
That's
got a
exciting.
blog.
Have you read it?
He went back to the 90s and got himself a blog. Hell no. I cannot, you know, just every time that they show him talking, even now, I just have this visceral, like, ugh, I don't want to look at you. I don't want to hear your voice. You're just like, you know, you're that stalker in the past that won't fucking go away. Anyway, moving on. Hey, what do you think about the new Black Widow movie coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's dead. She died.
Well, that's what some other people are saying. I don't care. I mean, look at how many times they've rebooted the X-Men after all the characters died. And like, oh, well,
But they're
they're in
not
their
rebooting
teens.
this.
Now they're
They're
in their
not rebooting
20s.
this. We're taking a earlier look in the life of Black Widow.
Uh-huh.
And to me, that's kind of, but you're going to die on that planet. It's terrible.
Well, I don't care. If they do a good movie, I don't care.
I
I
know.
want a good movie. They should have done this before Endgame, and they didn't because it was a woman.
Oh, really?
No, don't throw the Captain America, not Captain America. Who is it? Who's she?
Marvel.
And Marvel. All that
No, I'm not
they
throwing that at
threw
you.
out
I'm
there
just
like
saying,
whatever.
you
But
know that's true.
yeah,
Or is that your assumption? Are you
I'm
assuming
gonna
that
go
they?
with that's my assumption because they did the same thing. It was only when Wonder Woman, the original, you know, the first movie, Wonder Woman movie, did so well that the other studios and stuff finally pulled their shit together and said, "Wait a minute, maybe people will watch women be superheroes."
Okay.
Anyway, but I'm
Well,
looking forward to it.
if that's your thoughts, then I'm backing you on it. Okay.
Oh, thank you. But that is, I am looking forward to it. But there is a part of me too that feels the same way as you. It's like, now you're gonna do this?
Well, it would be like watching Harry Potter, early days of Voldemort.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't care about him. And that's the other thing. Black Widow never really like was
yeah.
It was a person of interest. You know, she was there and she was good at what she did, but she was kind of like a sideline, almost like the Samuel L. Jackson character.
Mm,
He's kind of a supporting character, not a lead. But I mean, it's Scarlett Johansson, so it's going to be good.
right.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, that would I kind of think the same way about if they made a movie about oh, I just remembered his name, Clint, his the arrow, the shooty arrow guy
You're talking about
that I fucking love.
Jeremy Renner's character,
Yeah.
Archer, I think, something like that.
No, I don't know why I can't remember it all of a sudden.
Well, there's
Anyway.
a new series coming out, Disney Plus.
And see, that would be interesting to me as a series, but as a movie, I don't think it would work.
I know.
Well, no, well, they may do it because he's a man, but
no, it's a series.
Yeah.
And it's a great way of taking the way I look at it is I remember when Disney bought Marvel, because I was in the business, so I kind of had heard from behind what was going on.
Right.
And everyone kept saying, okay, we've already got movies with the with these major characters. What are you going to do now?
Right.
Nobody wants to see these secondary characters. But the secondary characters make excellent television or streaming.
Yes.
And so I mean, let's face it, that Falcon and the Winter Soldier ended up being a 5-hour movie if you kind of pieced it all together. So and it told a story about secondary characters that were interesting.
Yeah.
I think the movies aren't flashy enough, but they can kind of make it work on stream when they stream it and they more of a television type situation.
I am totally for that.
Yeah. And that's great because that's Disney's had this, they really didn't have this streaming portion thought up at that time, obviously, when they bought Marvel, but they saw the capability of it. I mean, WandaVision is nothing like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but they're both Marvel and they both work because of it. And it's like they can come in, they can change the way they approach these characters. I mean, we've got the Mandalorian, and he's part of the Star Wars group, and they're going to be bringing out early Obi-Wan Kenobi streaming story.
That sounds really cool.
It's just they just keep coming up with, because I think it's just they're very savvy to what they can make happen, and they're not afraid to try it.
Right. And that reminds me, Paramount is coming out with who Captain Pike is in the Star Wars. They are taking the same guy who did him on Discovery and his crew, and they're putting that into another show, and doing that show. And I was just like, yes, because he was phenomenal. I wanted his character to like go with them so that I could see more of him. But yeah, right. What was the Marvel thing I was gonna tell you? Oh, I wish they would bring back Jenny Jones. Is that it? Is that her name? Jessica Jones.
You're talking about that series that was on Netflix, right?
Yeah, I want that. I wish they would bring it back, reboot it, whatever. It was a good fucking series, and then so was Daredevil. I wish they bring Daredevil back too, because was such a great character.
Well, I think the problem was that they weren't made by Disney.
I know they weren't made by Disney, but I thought that was one of the reasons that they stopped making them for Netflix, is because Marvel all went into Disney. I would like Disney.
And I agree. They were good series, but they were kind of what's the word?
Scary.
Well, they weren't big.
No, but everybody that I knew, of course, I know mostly geeks, watched them. And really
I get that. I'm not saying big in popularity. I'm saying they're not big.
Oh yeah, I get that, but
And they're not big characters. They're very flawed characters, and they're not. I mean, Jenny Jones is saving people in the street, not people on a
right.
skyscraper.
And that's one of the reasons that I loved her, and I loved Daredevil too. But I could have done without the Karate Kid guy with the the fist, the white guy who knew how
Yeah,
to do karate, and so he became the Golden Fist or whatever the fuck it was.
yeah, I've heard that story in a bathhouse before.
I have the Golden Fist, girl. All right. So anyway, Tom wants to talk to you about.
Well, first of all, last week on the Masked Singer, we lost the Robopine. He was a porcupine, and it ended up being Tyrese, so that was sad because he was good.
Oh,
We're down to the top 5 now on American Idol, and 3 I'm happy about, and 2 I'm not happy about. Well, I'm not terribly sad about, but I just I lost people I wanted to go on. But the shows have been fun and they've been good. They did do a Coldplay songbook. You know how they've done a Disney songbook, and
yeah.
and I'm like, okay, I only knew one of the songs. So
That's pretty much would be me too.
yeah, Mighty Ducks is still super fun, and I really would like you to start watching it.
Okay, I will make a point of it.
And let's see, then they're just so delightful to watch. They're they're very simple. I mean, it's a kid show, but it's a kid show that that crosses over to adults. It's very pleasing. It's an easy 22 minutes to watch.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. I was talking to Brian about this, about Them. I finished episode 9, which was the desert sequence one in black and white, and I still don't understand. I mean, I understand they gave us a new character, but the problem here is that they have spent too much time on secondary characters. Okay, and remember gentrification, with gentrification. Okay, which was a really fun show on Netflix. But what happened was, it starts out like the first 5 episodes are about the family and each of their problems, and they're keeping it together. And then all of a sudden, we're going out to secondary and tertiary characters. For some reason, giving them a full episode and not advancing any of the people that we normally watch.
Right.
Our regular characters. It's like watching, Cheers, and we have a whole episode about Norm's wife that never takes place in the bar.
Right. Or Paul, the character that.
I mean, well, his wife only came down into Cheers once. And she had gotten a cake on her face, so you couldn't see who the actress was, and that was the joke, that we never see his wife. But it's just like, these aren't characters that advance our storyline, and and in Them, it's like a whole episode, and do I care that the milkman kidnapped the bitch across the street? Not really. I'm kind of glad about it. I'm not feeling bad for her at all yet. And I've got 1 episode left. So it's just, and did I really need to see them stick hot pokers in the eyes of those people?
Oh, that was so. I'm telling you, just when you think the show can't get more like
disturbing, it does.
It does.
This week on Top Chef, now you caught up on this series yet? Are you waiting until it's okay? They visit the indigenous people of Portland, and so they have to make a meal based on food that these people would have had to eat. Well, they ate 200-300 years previous, which was a lot of stuff like elk and rabbit and trout and salmon, basically game food. game meats and fish. And then they had to do a surf and turf based on that. So you'd have elk with steelhead trout, you'd have, and so you had to kind of make something that was cohesive
Right.
of the two different things. You had two, and each was two chefs. So it was kind of fun. It was fun. And then they fed a group of indigenous people, and they're like, wow, this is not how I would have ever expected smelt to be cooked, but it's fantastic, that type of thing. So,
Huh.
Anytime you go out to a nice restaurant, you're like going, wow, I never thought I'd have a lobster tail that was like butter, but here it is.
Yeah.
I finished The Circle season 2.
Oh, okay.
And it was very, very exciting. The show is so exciting, and I don't know why. It's just so much fun to watch.
Did you
Also,
see the naked pictures of the one guy from it?
yes, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Pose is back on season 3, and this is the final season. First 3 episodes have played, so they're not available on Hulu as one would expect, because Netflix is carrying the seasons. So once it's closed, the season's over, the season 3 will go to Netflix. So,
Okay.
and then there's a new show on Peacock called Girls 5 Eva. And this is about a girl group from the late 90s who had one hit and then they failed. And the reason why they're all of a sudden relevant is some new rapper takes their, the little segment of their chorus and uses it in his song. Yeah, so sample. And then they all of a sudden are like going, okay, let's make this work. We can get on the cruise ships. We can get on summer tours, which they probably can.
Pride.
But it's Sarah Morales.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's the one of the girls. It's Busy Phillips from Cougar Town. Paula, and I can't remember her last name. Paula, she does a lot of voiceover. She's the mother, Andrew's mother on Big Mouth.
Okay.
So a lot of people, and it's created by Tina Fey's team.
Oh, okay.
So it's funny.
Yeah.
And then I did see the Mitchells versus the Machines, or Against the Machines, cartoon or animated feature on Netflix.
Mhm.
And that was pretty fun. It was a fun show. And then I saw Tenet, which is the new Christopher Nolan movie starring John David Washington. And it is caca.
It's really bad.
It's 2 hours of I don't give a fuck.
Wow.
And I mean, it's kind of, it was interesting when something was interesting, but most of the time you're just going, oh my God, what is this about? What's happening? Why is this happening? How is this a hit?
Yeah.
Does anybody understand what's going on?
That's too bad.
And every time they you think you're confused, they go, oh well, because it's a lot of future stuff that's coming into the present. So, oh well, yes, I've known you for many years. You just met me though, and it's like, oh, so you're from the future? What? What? Yeah. So there's just a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yes, and then of course I told you about the death of one of my girls, and then I kind of blew up my side in some kind of pain. I don't know if it's a nerve or what it is, but I feel very, very old. Can't sit. I'm very uncomfortable the way I'm sitting right now. Walking actually is when I finally get up and I feel okay to walk. Walking is about the least pain I'm in, which I don't understand. But I can bend down on this side, but I can't bend down on this side because of that stretch. So that's my week.
Okay. Well, I hope your back gets better. I have certainly been there. It's awful, awful, awful. All right. Well, let's see. My week. I finished RuPaul season 13. I think enough time has passed that we can talk about the winner.
Sure.
I was okay with it. I wasn't super about it. Actually, I wasn't super about really any of them. They were all good, and
No, they weren't.
that I know that you hate. What
Hate
was her name?
Candy.
Candy News. See, the thing, I didn't hate her, although there's a lot of times I didn't like her. That's for damn sure. But I didn't hate her. I just kind of felt like, eh, there's another person with, you know, a lot of junk in their past, and I felt sorry for her. Felt so sorry for her.
You know what she
Anyway.
said? You feel sorry for me, bitch.
I know. Anyway,
I feel sorry for you.
I kind of liked Rose.
Yeah.
I think that I probably would have liked her as the winner, but I think they didn't give it to her partly because she's already a seasoned queen. So I think they wanted to boost, work with what the hell was her name? Whoever won. See, that's
Nice.
how much it left an impression on me. I can't remember her
Well,
name.
that's kind of the way I am with these shows. Once the winner's over, I'm like turning on something else.
Right, exactly. Anyway, I thought that they probably thought that they could do more with her and market her better and everything because the others already are kind of established. So, they're going to be fine. They've got their careers. Everybody knows their name. Who's the winner? I can't remember her name, but I can remember Candy and I can remember Rose.
And Utica.
Utica, I wanted to like her so much.
Got Mick.
That was the other person. And that's another one. I will always know who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to like Utica so much. And some of her looks were so incredible. But my gosh, that was like a dim bulb sometimes. It was so hard to like the shit that came out of her mouth.
Yeah, I know. She's not ready for the real world.
No. She's ready to go back to Dragon Christian land or something because the stuff that she was saying, I'm just like, I don't fucking know. You're crazy. But I thought she had a good
heart. Can we put this on hold for a second?
Absolutely. Okay, and we are back. So yeah, season 13 was done, and for some reason I was just like still in a RuPaul mood, so I started rewatching season 10. Season 10 is the one you're with Eureka in it. You remember that? So, and
this is after she came back, right?
Yes, this is the second. And when I watched it the first time, actually, this is what you just said. I was watching season 10 and I didn't remember half the shit that happened in it or who half those people were. So it was kind of like I was watching it again for the first time.
I know, it's sad.
Yeah. But I remember the first time hating Eureka and be like, bitch, shut the fuck up. And this time I didn't hate her. I mean, I still wanted her to shut up sometimes, but I didn't hate her as much as I did. Yeah. So I'm on the last episode of that, and then I need to watch something real. So maybe I'll go watch the Mighty Ducks or something. But that's all I've been watching is just RuPaul. And then we had the big day of giving. And that
explain what that is.
So from October, basically it starts in October, and then when I have to do a whole bunch of stuff, and then on May 4th or 6th or something. So basically what it is where there are
You want me to do it?
no, trying to get the right number. So there are 600 something organizations that actually participate in this day that is supposed to be a donate to nonprofit awareness day. So people do events, everything else, and then people from all over
Now, is
donate.
this just in Sacramento area?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
like the actually it's north, kind of like up the hills too. So it incorporates like Placer and like the surrounding YOLO areas and stuff. But I was trying to remember the exact amount. In this area, there are, I think they said over 9,000 nonprofits, and 600 something participate in this, including one of the ones that I am involved with. And we ended up raising, we'd raised $1,500 last year. We wanted to double that this year, and I didn't think we were going to do it. I didn't think we were going to do it. And we ended up raising over $4,000, having over $4,000 in donations, I should say. So it was a huge success. Very happy for that. And I'm very happy that it's done until October, when I have to start the next process all over again. But the clever thing about this is that the organization that runs it, basically, they have a fee, they have a processing fee, and they have a fee for you to be a part of it. So they raised a total of, not for all the nonprofits, there was a total of like $12 million raised this year. And then they end up skimming off, like, I don't know what, but they probably ended up getting like 2 million or something like that from just their fees. And I'm like, this is like a pyramid scheme. But it raised money, and so yay. That's all I'm gonna say is yay, and yay, it's done for another year. Also, this weekend, another one of my clients, the Kennedy Gallery, celebrated their 15th year. So 15th year of an LGBTQ gallery in Sacramento that actually is a collective, because other artists become resident artists, and they rent a room or a half a room, and they display their art all year long. Oh my, I feel like I'm being dusted. Girls.
You had something on your forehead I had to get rid of.
Oh, that was my date last night.
It looked like a booger.
Oh, that's gross. Anyway.
It could have been a booger for me.
Yeah. Oh, that says so much. Anyway, so their 15th anniversary, they got proclamations from the mayor, they got a resolution from the city council, and they got another proclamation from, I always forget where the other one was. But anyway, so
was Steve down there?
Huh?
Was Steve down there?
I don't know. I didn't go. He may have come by. It was from what I understand, it was a busy day, but I spent most of the day, because it's also their 2020 show in 21. So what they do is they have a juried selection of 20 artists out of all the submissions. They accept 20 artists, and each of those artists do 25 pieces of 8x8 work.
Wow.
So imagine 20 artists with 25 pieces of work, and I get the snapshot pictures of it, and I have to completely format it and put it up online for sale. And it is grueling. It is some grueling work to do that. Anyway, so I've been swamped with that for the last couple days. And then, as I said, we went to pool testing yesterday at Mr. Clint's house. It was still just the four of us, all vaxxed. Very happy about that. And yeah, our balls went back inside when we got in that pool. So we didn't last that long.
Yeah, well, no one gets in. I keep seeing people on Facebook going, got in the pool for the first time. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you, insane?
Yeah.
Honey would get into the pool at this point because she liked it cold. But the no, I don't get into it until I can see steam coming off it in the morning.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, And that's the thing, is that that's going to happen in the next month or so. So in
Or
Sacramento.
sooner with these lovely temperatures.
Yeah. So that means you'll be able to have pool parties again. Yay.
No, I'm just going to have practice pool parties and not invite you.
Thank you.
Sure.
I appreciate that. But it'd be nice because we could do Saturdays at your place, and then we can all do Sundays at the other boy's place.
Oh, Brian sent me a thing yesterday, a video of
Yeah.
a guy who he took the burger that they serve on SpongeBob on a stick.
Mm-hmm.
He recreated the burger on the video, and which meant that it was kind of like a Big Mac, but there were 4 patties, but the second piece of bread and the cheeses and stuff and bacon, and then he spun it around in tempura batter, deep fried it, then pulled it out, let it sit for a second, and once it cooled off enough, he re-tempura'd it and did it again, and deep fried it, and then cut it in half and ate it. It looked really, really good.
That sounds amazing.
And I told Brian, okay, you're having a swim party this year, and we'll make the deep fried burgers.
That sounds amazing. I don't know. I probably won't be invited to that one unless somebody wants to make, unless Brian needs somebody to make fun of. But that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I'd go for that.
Yeah, it looked really fattening and horrible, but really good at the same time.
Yeah. Wow.
We don't deep fry enough things. That's the problem.
Yeah. And now he has a deep fryer. You have a deep fryer.
He's got a turkey fryer with a basket. Yeah. So I'm thinking that would
be 2 burgers at once.
Well, probably not, because they might stick together.
Okay.
But it would make it easier to like lower it in, fry it, pull it back up, and then drop the next one in. So I'm just thinking. I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, speaking of thinking about food, let's think about the clothes that cover our big, beautiful food bodies, food-loving bodies. We want to remind you to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you. Fat Marker Clothing wants those of us who have been told that we are too much of something, like Eureka and Candy, always being told that they're too much of something, to turn those negatives into positives. And Chubs listeners, you can do this by using the code FMWildChub to get 20% off anything while ordering over at fatmarkerclothing.com. And no, we do not get a kickback for any orders that go in. This is legit. 20% off. That's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to start getting that kind of a percentage off. You usually have to start with an online company, and then after a few months, they start sending you 20%. Once you're spending money, and Fat Marker is going, no, you can take 20% off because you're listening to Chubs Gone Wild.
That's right. That's amazing.
And it's summertime, and when for those of us that want to get into the pool but don't want to take off our shirts, we can have a really cute shirt to wear in the pool.
That is true. That is very true. I used to do that. I actually got comfortable enough the last couple times I was over there to take my shirt off and to wear shorts, like real shorts, and not like, some sweatpants. So go get your shorts.
It's so windy at my house.
Is it still ringing?
Yeah, wow. I probably can't see it, but my bush is blowing.
Ooh, blowing in the bush. I saw that movie. All right. Well, here we go. Here's some advice for you. It comes from Miss Manners. Dear Miss Manners, I was recently reminded of a situation in which I acted badly. Due to COVID restrictions, this is not a scenario likely to come up again soon, but I'm hoping you can tell me what the mannerly approach would have been, so I can do better in the future. Last year, I was invited to a cookie decorating party. My job is to work with children who have significant behavioral challenges, and it had been a particularly stressful year. I declined the invitation, stating that I was too stressed out from work to go. It had been the kind of year where, when I got home from work, I would crawl into my bed and hide under my comforter for a couple hours.
It
The
sounds
day,
like you.
I know, right? The day of the event, my friend called and asked me if I would reconsider and attend her party. The truth was, I had declined the invitation because I suspected kids might be in attendance. I found that when work is really stressful, I cannot be around children because I cannot turn the teacher off. In a weak moment, I thought I would just tell her what the problem was. I asked her if kids were going to be there and told her that at this point in the school year where I can't handle being around children. She responded pretty coldly and told me that she couldn't tell parents not to bring their kids. Then she gave me a weird lecture about how parents deserve to go to parties and have social lives too. I had zero intention of trying to change her guest list. I just wanted to know if kids were coming, so I would know not to be there. I do understand that you can't ask who is coming to a party before you accept an invitation, but what is a polite way to inquire whether children are expected?
I don't know why there's a problem here.
I know, right?
Because I'll tell you, if they're having a cookie party and there's kids there, I'm not going. And
Who
you know what?
has a cookie party that doesn't have kids there?
Well, exactly. Well, gay men might, but
Well, that's true.
nowadays, if gay men have a cookie party, I'd suspect they have children.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so I wouldn't go because, and this person works with children with
Developmentally disabled children, like severe.
oh my God, and they can't be around children.
They can't turn the teacher off.
Well, that's probably why you're invited, moron.
Right. I was thinking that too.
And the thing is, you can't ask who's coming to a party. I do it all the time. Is this person going to be there? Okay, I'm not coming. Thanks for the invite. Bye-bye.
Right.
And we're done. But yeah, that's what it's a cookie party and you don't want to be around kids, then don't go. And make up a better excuse. And it's been a long, hard year for me. Just say, I got plans.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and she declined in the first place. You don't need to do it.
No, because the person asked again the day of.
Right. And so
it's like, I would have gone, bitch, didn't I tell you no?
Right. It's like, it's a just say, sorry, I can't.
Yeah. And then,
but apparently she thought this person was a friend and she could talk to her.
Right. And the person getting mad at her because first thing the person should say is, I'm having a cookie party. You think there's not going to be children here.
Right.
Okay.
Or if you're a good etiquette person, you just say, I understand. Let's, move on. Anyway, here's what Miss Manners had to say. At a cookie decorating party, Miss Manners would think that you would have made a pretty educated guess. Avoiding a whole category of people rather than irksome individuals does not make the excuse any less rude. But your friend should also not have pressed you on what was otherwise a politely declined invitation.
Yeah. Yeah. I
think that a lot of things like this are written for suburban housewives not. Well, I don't mean housewives, but people that live in happy little white suburbia because
suburban housewives.
These are not real.
Yeah. That's who. This is like. And I guess this person is the only one that doesn't have children. Their friend group. I mean, does the person having the party? Well, obviously, if they're having a cookie party, decorating party, they have children. So there's going to be kids there. You're stupid. I mean, this pointless. writing Miss Manners is pointless here.
Yeah, it's just like I can't imagine any of our friends who are going to have a party or something or be invited who wouldn't ask, well, who have you invited? Who's coming? What are we going to be doing? All that stuff, because that's just what we ask in real life.
Yeah.
So this has to be that whole try to middle class, we have to have certain expectations and we have to go by what, etiquette says. So I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. You people aren't real. Moving on. Unless you're our listeners, we love you. You're real. Hey, Chubs, how many fans do you have in your house? I have 12. Maybe 13.
I think we have 8.
Okay.
Oh, 9. Forgot the one in the window. We've got 4 ceiling fans.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a stand up fan that's in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
We have a box fan in the bedroom window.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have 3 or 4 fans in the girls' room in their tent.
We have 5 ceiling fans. My mom has a little desk fan and a stand-up fan. My father has one of my old big fans. And then I have 2 small fans, and then 2 fans next to me. One's the great big gigantic industrial fan, and the other one's like a little window fan that didn't really go in the window, so I just sit it next to me, and it temperaturizes me. So yeah. Yep, and then I have another fan outside that I could bring in. It's a nice big industrial one too. I like my air. I like to breathe. So anyway, hey Chubs, do you like art galleries?
I used to.
No.
But here in Sacramento, they have during the summertime, they have the art walk.
Yes.
Which is the second Saturday of every month.
Yeah.
And it used to be kind of a fun event.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became, because why it was a fun event? It was a fun event because it was mostly gay people and cool heterosexual women.
Yes.
And then it became a thing for millennials to party. They weren't there for the art. And what ended up happening is we ended up with a street fair every fucking Saturday, and as every other Saturday, second Saturday of each month,
right,
to where people were canceling other events because they couldn't get parking for their event, where they could. I mean, I remember when we would have a show running down there at the 22nd and L, the show below. If we'd have a show there, there'd be no parking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. You're right.
It's terrible.
And then, and not only that, but then when we did have the events at the 21st Theater, we were upstairs in a kind of not soundproof but well-proof theater, and you could hear the music so fucking loud from the street downstairs.
Well, that's because the place
drowned out the plays.
Place right across the street was a sports bar that would bring in a band.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very disruptive. But I loved going to the art galleries. But the thing is, I don't walk long distances with my back anymore. So hobnobbing it around the Midtown area, because you'd have to park outside of the area, walk in, and then there's the big circles. If I do ever go do the second Saturday, I usually go down early, like after lunch, because a lot of the places are open all day. Right.
Like so the one that I work for, they open at
the Kennedy Gallery. Yeah. They open up in the and then they're open for the rest of the night, and that's cool. But yeah, that's the problem. Was the second Saturday has taken that joy away, and then on regular days, you never know when the galleries are going to be open
Right.
because they have not restricted hours, they have different hours,
Right.
because why does a gallery need to be open, at 10 o'clock in the morning? It
Right.
doesn't,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're just paying someone to stand around there until they close the doors.
Mhm. It's true, and that's the one that I work for. Their hours are like 10 noon to 6, 4 days a week. Well, and then Saturdays 10 to 10, 10 to 6, depending
Yeah, yeah.
on
The
when it's a
and
gallery
and
walk.
and who has to, the thing is that art galleries should be open in the evenings when people are off of work.
That's what I always think too.
But they know that art galleries are usually someplace that the elderly go,
Hmm.
and then like children's groups might do that during the day, but everyone else is coming once a month on Saturday.
Yep,
And,
exactly.
it was always very, very. I remember I was so far in the early days that I was there when they served free wine.
Oh, I know. It was always nice because you could always get wine and like a whole dinner with the snacks. And if you go from gallery to
Oh
gallery,
yeah.
you
By the
could
time
just,
you were done, you were fed
yeah,
and drunk. And now it's
yeah,
it's no one can afford that because there's too many people.
yeah,
And the best you're going to do is probably a three-piece combo playing music,
yeah.
but you're not going to get any. Yeah, and they'll sell wine to you now, but
Yes.
that's not going to feed you at all.
In fact, our gallery has a host bar. Is that what it's called
Yeah.
when you buy? Yeah. So, anywho, okay. So, and I love them. Though I have the same thing. I won't go walk, a mile to between them.
If it was
See them,
just a
but
mile, it's
yeah,
like Disneyland.
yeah.
Afterwards, you're chafed and your legs are sore and
Bitter and
your feet
oh,
are swollen and you just want to crawl into bed and underneath your comforter
yeah, that's right. For
and
several
insult
hours with
people with
no
children.
children. All right.
So what's in your basket? No, what is it? What's this
Lunchbox?
lunchbox?
Yes. Well, Mr. Michael Sage had a few things in his lunchbox.
What is it?
Well, the two pictures are
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
gnocchi. Is that how you
Oh,
pronounce
okay.
it? Gnocchi
Yeah, gnocchi, right,
with
right.
spinach and tomatoes with garlic butter breadcrumbs.
It looks really, really good.
Yes, it does. And the second thing he has here is a vegan Mediterranean gyro chicken bowl. Uh,
Oh,
oh, and Tom wanted to know what the thing in my last salad was I sent.
oh,
It was not potato. It was a cut up Harry and David pear.
oh, okay. Yeah, because that's the thing about apples, pears are very they're consistent. It's just like potatoes. It's weird
Mhm.
because one's grown underground and the other two are grown in trees, but you can utilize them quite the same way. And so that's very cool. I don't know why they don't make more pear stuff. I love pear. I used to love to take fresh pears and bake them into coffee cake.
Now,
It's
see, baking into a coffee cake would be interesting. I am very picky about fruit in my food. I don't like fruit in my food, but I do like fruit. However, some of the stuff that I hear, especially that you're talking about, I'm interested in trying.
yeah, I mean if it's a desserty kind of thing.
Yeah. But
Although
when you're like, oh, here I made a chicken and I shoved watermelon pieces into this chicken for flavoring, and I'm just like,
well, what Sean made, we made a salad a couple days ago, and he was throwing whole grapes into his salad.
I have seen that. I'm not
I
opposed
mean,
to it.
yeah,
I
that's
don't
how you
want
do a
it.
Waldorf salad,
Yeah.
um, but and then he had it with ranch, and it was, I don't know, the whole thing kind of just unnerved me.
Mm.
Although I wanted to try it, but I was having Thousand Island. I didn't think Thousand Island grapes would be very good.
No, although I love Thousand Island. We got a thing of ranch, and I just make the homemade though. I actually my favorite salad topping is just mayo and ketchup mixed together really well, and that's it. I know some people are like, oh, yeah,
It's
and
called
others are like,
secret
well, that's just
sauce.
basically Thousand Island.
No, that's secret sauce, girl.
Well, that it is, but
Yes.
I'm like,
Uh,
it just it's so good. I love it everywhere.
yeah. Well, it's funny because I go to chicken places to get strips.
Yeah.
And if they serve fish, I go, hey, can they go, what do you want for your dipping? I go, oh, can I have tartar sauce? And they get
Oh
upset.
yeah.
It's really Church's has really good tartar sauce, and they sometimes the girls won't give it to you.
That's just weird.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's
love
there.
tartar
What do you
sauce.
care? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. All right. So Mr. Moose wrote in as well, and he says, here's my delicious meat. Roasted turkey breasts today. And also roasted root vegetables, parsnips, red potatoes, carrots, Vidia onions.
Yeah.
I think it's, I don't know.
They're a very sweet onion.
Okay. Tossed in balsamic vinegar, olive oil, rosemary, and thyme. Healthy and delicious. That's interesting. I do like turkey breasts. Mm.
I know he was roasting a turkey breast, and it looks beautiful. I mean, actually, really beautiful, and the gravy he's made is gorgeous.
Yeah, and I mean, he sliced that beautifully.
And what is it? Carrots and is it just potatoes, or are those parsnips, or what are they?
They are potatoes, carrots.
Okay, it looks good, but I want those fries more than I want anything else right now.
Yeah, double bacon, cheeseburger, cheddar burger, and fries. A whole pound of beefy goodness. Oh my gosh!
Well, and look at the cheese. I mean, there's a lot of cheese on that.
That's true.
I would have wanted it more melted on the burger, but some people want the cheese this way, and I get that. I understand that.
Those fries look really good.
I know. Look at them. Look how crispy they are. They're so crispy, and I don't know what's sprinkled on them. If it may just be salt and pepper, but I haven't eaten all day, and I'm a little delirious right now.
Lightheaded. Yeah, I get it. Same.
Thank God, it at least has some caffeine.
Oh, I might have some between 5 and 7 tonight. All right. Once again, ordered smoked pulled chicken with bourbon molasses barbecue sauce, side of mac and cheese, fried okra. And that is there.
But it's funny. Whenever I see this picture, or when he gets this, I want to see what those hush puppies are like.
Yeah.
In the back.
Yeah, I see that.
Because I've never been an okra fan, and it's because my mom, whenever she made it, it was gummy and it was gross.
Oh yeah.
So maybe if I had it done right, because the first time I had scallops, it was like chewing on a school eraser. So
yes,
you really need things cooked correctly and the way they're meant to be. So
right.
Otherwise, you're scarred forever. And then I would have had a little more sauce on that, but he's always careful on his weight. And
yeah, I would have more sauce too.
Yeah, that should all be that beautiful red. I would just toss it ahead of time in that and then put it out.
Yep.
Oh my God, I'm so hungry.
The first time that I had fried okra, it was done right, and I absolutely loved it. But I have had it to where I just put it in the trash because it was done so badly.
I remember I put one in my mouth and it was fried, so it was coated. I'm like, oh, I love fried food, and I went, oh my God, what is this? This is like a fried snot.
Yeah. Oh, and if you look at this photo of the okra,
yeah,
right below the okra, I think he's labeling us, or it's labeling him, because it just says ho. Anyway, so if you want to check out those photos, and you really should,
You do. You really want to check them out. It all looks so good.
go over to facebook.com/Chubs Gone Wild. All right. Well, currently, LGBTQ people of color in America have a disproportionately high rate of new HIV infections. Golden Rule Services of Sacramento, along with the HIV Community Planning Council, want you to know that there's an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, aka PrEP, is a medication proved to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, call your local sexual health clinic. In Sacramento County, California, contact Golden Rule Services at sacgrs.org to get started on protecting your sexual health. And with that, send us an email at chubsgonewild.com. Leave us a comment at chubsgonewild.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Please consider becoming a patron of the show over at patreon.com/Matt Burlingame. Also, find Tom's movie and TV reviews at swannerandjudd.com. Find their podcast in iTunes or on iHeartRadio. Find out more about my books at justkisstheguy.com and check out my other podcast at bigsexshow.com. And that's a little ASMR for you. And give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
Yay! And that brings us to the close of another fabulous episode. And we are almost at our 400th episode.
I know. Did we, I think it was sometime in July, right?
Yeah, actually, it may occur right around the same time as the live Pride 48 show.
Okay, so what are we on right now?
We are on 393.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 28th. So it'll be the week after.
The week after. Oh.
Yeah. So
maybe we'll have to throw in a mini show so that we can get to it.
Although that would be Jana's birthday, I could call that a present for her.
Oh, that would be very nice. We could do a present for Jana. We could turn 400. We can do a live show on Pride 48, and I believe the appropriate gift for a 400th show is chocolate.
It's June. They won't ship chocolate during June.
Oh. Well, that sucks.
I know, it's terrible. That's why, I mean, you watch HSN, you watch QVC, they don't sell chocolate May through September. Ew.
Sucks.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
That's just something we got to deal with. Yeah, it's that's why summer, you don't say, hey, happy 4th of July, here's some chocolate.
That's true. That's true. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to settle with
other gifts.
Yeah.
Gift cards to restaurants in the area. That'd be good,
Who goes to restaurants anymore?
Oh, I will be shortly.
Yeah, well, I mean, that I've talked about going to the Bear Dive, but it's been so open and there's not many people there, so I don't know. I am looking forward to going to restaurants and movies again, but I'm not ready for that yet. If you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And
I forgot we were still recording.
And we will talk to you next week. We love you. Bye.